Vanakkam and Namaskaram. Kumaraguru Institutions extends a warm welcome to everyone gathered here for the inauguration of Sarabhai Kalam Theatre, an enabling space for networking and knowledge dissemination. The academic year 2023-24 holds great significance in the Kumaraguru narrative, marking a milestone 40th year. The history of Kumaraguru has its roots in the vision sown by a revered founder, Arutchelvar Dr. N. Mahalingam Ayya, and its ascent to national prominence is a remarkable story of collaboration and innovation, setting and exceeding ambitious goals and pushing frontiers across all disciplines that has driven on our success over the 4 decades with 5 institutions in 3 campuses, impacting close to 8,000 enthusiastic learners every year in the domains of engineering, technology, management, agriculture, liberal arts, and science. Over the years, starting from the construction of the first academic block in 1984, the Kumaraguru campus has seen remarkable strides in its infrastructure. Notable among them include the Mahalingam Vigyan Bhavan, the 3-storied academic and administrative complex, which has now become an identity of Kumaraguru. The Mahatma Gandhi Central Library, a purpose-built structure with a blend of aesthetics and functionality. Jnana Sabhai, a tranquil space thoughtfully designed for meditation and introspection. Jyoti Nilayam, the guest facility built in a classical South Indian courtyard-style architecture. The iconic Orb, featuring a towering 115 feet flag mast along with an expansive pavilion. And Ramananda Adigalar Auditorium, with a 1,200 seating capacity, are some of the signature marvels in our campus.
Today, as we commemorate 4 decades of excellence in higher education, we have gathered here for the inauguration of the Sarabhai Kalam Theatre, another flagship addition to our campus. As we embark on this exciting new chapter, we invoke the blessings of the Almighty to guide us. I may now invite Akshaya, Preeta Sanju, and Shivani from Band Agrata to render the prayer song, which will be followed by the Tamil Thai Vartha. May I request the gathering to please rise for the same. Thank you, students. Commemorating the 40 years of excellence in higher education, may we now invite our esteemed guest, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, to unveil the plaque and formally inaugurate the Sarabhai Kalam Theatre, a state-of-art venue for intellectual and performative assemblies. May we also request Professor Y.S. Rajan to join Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma.
Thank you, dignitaries. Over the course of Kumaraguru's 40-year narrative, the most recent decade stands out as a period of remarkable progress in various spheres, including academics, research, industry partnerships, global engagement, community outreach, sustainable practices, and more, thanks to the visionary and dynamic leadership of our joint correspondent, Sri Shankar Vanavrayar. He infuses technological endeavors with effective management principles, integrates the realms of art, culture, engineering, and aesthetics, and maintains a delicate balance between heritage and sustainability, and nurtures global connections while remaining deeply ingrained in our cultural and historical roots. Sir, may we invite you to deliver the welcome address.
Good afternoon, and a warm welcome to all of you gathered here. Indeed, it is a momentous day today. When I sat in the morning to write some of my notes for the welcome address, many times we say that it is a momentous day, it is an important day. But today, to be here, there has multiple significances, and I am truly delighted, honored, and proud to be welcoming all of you to this important event. An event needs a moment, a significant occasion, or a momentary happening. I think how this afternoon, this rather warm afternoon, is unfurling looks like this venue is just playing host to something very significant. In the last few weeks, India has been brimming with global acclaim, thanks to the amazing work and incredible achievements of our space program. ISRO has become a household name. It is something that every young and old and every Indian, and to be honest, everybody in the developing world is celebrating. And of course, the G20 also happened shortly after that. But in this path, what is very important, we must remember that any such happening has a path that led to it, a history that built it, a foundation that has beautifully brought it today. I take this opportunity to welcome our two very special guests, and when I thought about it in the morning, just in my mind, the power of that thought of somebody being with us who has been part of the space program, maybe not from inception, but almost from inception. Somebody who has stood by, led, worked, visioned, and continues to reverberate the thought and vision of this whole program. Dr. Y.S. Rajan, somebody that we have known, regarded fondly, been inspired by, and just even few minutes ago, we're listening to what we should do. And he has been listing out many things, remains to be a vibrant mind in this powerful country. Thank you, Dr. Y.S. Rajan, for being here. I welcome you into this campus. You are no stranger to us, but welcome again, because this is special and this moment is very different. And this morning when I again thought about it, I am certainly not as young as many of you, but in my vintage, when I can think of a remarkable moment that happened in India, today we talk about the moon is not our limit. But in a generation, in a time and an era where Doordarshan was the only option, a lightning call was the fastest way to communicate, the idea of the internet was still far away, we still had an Indian who dreamt to be in the moon, who took us to the moon, who took India into that orbit. We have with us a very inspiring individual, somebody who has led that whole thought and vision for young people and every Indian. very special, and I welcome on behalf of all of you, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, the first Indian astronaut. I must tell you that there is even people in this audience called Rakesh Sharma named, and he didn't even know, and we asked him why, and he said, well, I didn't know. And we actually have a person called Rakesh Sharma even in this audience. A generation remembered, generation was named, and very, very special and inspiring to have you with us. I also take this opportunity to welcome members of the management, chairman, vice chairman, and correspondent, our invited guests, members of the armed forces. Very special to have you. Welcome all of you. Members of academia, industry, partners, press and media, alumni, some parents who are here as well, students, faculty, and most importantly, all the staff members who made this possible. I just want to take a minute to give this context. Some time ago, I remember our chairman mentioned that it's important to have a larger venue. We had multiple venues for 250 people, but we had so we have a 1,400 venue and a 250 venue. We did not have a 500 venue. So then we embarked upon this thought about 5 years ago that we should have something that has a larger audience. But decided that this has to be a larger place. When we thought about what this should be, we decided, and this moment was very easy. Of course, there was a Sarabhai hall in campus, but then we said for a moment, in this year, in the moment that the moon did not look, when we always say sky is the limit, for India now, moon is not the limit. And this moment, we said, this has to be named after Sarabhai and our own Dr. Abdul Kalam. Why we thought about this? Because we thought one who pioneered and built the Indian space program and also inspired the scientific community and the technology that came, multiple things after that, and the other who inspired all of us. Of course, being a scientist, the President of India, but actually a believer of the future, believer of youth. So this is a proud moment when this institution dedicates a very modern facility with the most advanced audio systems, our air conditioning quality, with our visual displays, safety, and multiple things, and most importantly, as much as you can see us, we can see every one of you. We thought all those things are very important, and I think dedicating this with both of you in the campus is extremely special for us. I say this because I, for a moment, thought this morning, as I said, I will cherish this picture with all of you, and I'm sure this is momentary, but it is historic. I'm sure all of you think to actually say, to have somebody who's been part of the space program almost from beginning, and to have the first Indian astronaut in our campus together. And you will, I'm sure, today tweet, post, write in your diary, or just scribe in your mind that this happened and I was there. This is the most important thing, and I want to welcome all of you for this August wonderful moment. We also vision. Our founder always said it's very important that an institution is a social asset. Multiple things should happen. We did not plan this as an internal space. We wanted this space to be one that celebrates many things. Hence, we call this as a venue for many conferences, seminars, lectures, performances, and whatnot and what more. And we hope our campus, this ecosystem, and Coimbatore and more, will use this facility for multiple other uses. We also have built pre-function areas and other support services to make sure this is comfortable, and there are more things to do. So once again, I welcome all of you, and especially to our two inspiring guests into this campus, into this moment. And I'm sure this is going to script history and inspire us that we, in such a venue, will always vision intellectually and be inspired incredibly to take this country even further, because what I never imagined has happened, believe me, in your, and this is especially to the students, what you can't imagine now will happen in the decades to come, which means that each one of us have to be empowered, and I hope this moment, this event will play a stage to all that. Once again, welcome all of you, and thank you.
Thank you, sir, for extending a very warm welcome to our guests and the gathering. The impeccable contributions of our distinguished guests have instilled a sense of pride and aspiration within our entire nation, and we are happy to invite our esteemed Vice Chairman, Dr. M. Manikam, to honor Dr. Y.S. Raju Ms. Aro, and former chairman of the BOG NIT Manipur with a shawl and a garland. Thank you, sir. May we now request our respected correspondent, Shri M. Balasubramanian, to honor Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma Ashok Chakra with a shawl and a garland.
Thank you, sir. A truly outstanding institution can achieve holistic excellence when its very foundation is deeply rooted in a strong bedrock of ethics and values. At Kumaraguru, we have the distinct privilege of being led by our revered chairman, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Rai, who has consistently advocated the ideals of Swami Vivekananda and Mahatma Gandhi to inspire and guide our emerging talents. The prestigious invitation from Pope John Paul II to attend the Day of Prayer for Peace in the World at the Vatican City, in recognition of his global perspective and secular credentials, the statues of Swami Vivekananda and Mahakavi Bharatiyar, commissioned by our esteemed chairman at the MBB foyers, and the establishment of Mahatma Gandhi Memorial at Pothanur under the guidance of our chairman, reflect his consistent and profound efforts to shape the moral compass of the future global citizens. May we invite you, sir, to deliver the presidential address.
A happy good afternoon to one and all. It is indeed a great pleasure to have one of the distinguished scientists, Dr. Y.S. Rajan, and Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma for the inauguration of this theatre, named after two great iconic scientists of India, Dr. Vikram Sarabhai and Dr. Abdul Kalam. It is really a rare occasion when we could bring such great luminaries together for the function in an engineering institution. You all know Dr. Rajan is a scientist with many great achievements, was also associated with the ISRO for a very long time. Not only that, he is also a close associate of Dr. Abdul Kalam and co-authored the masterpiece, India 2020, a vision for the new millennium. Our other friend, Wing Commander Dr. Rajesh Sharma, is having the rare distinction of being the first and the only Indian to go to space as early as in 1984 in a Russian spacecraft. He had spent nearly 8 days in the space station conducting several scientific experiments, including yoga in zero gravity. So that's a great achievement, I thought. Doing yoga in the space. We are not doing it even here. We are proud to know that he has been conferred the rare honor of the hero of the Soviet Union. You've got to give a big hand for that. And India's highest peacetime gallantry award, the Ashok Chakra. Incidentally, He also lives in our Kunur neighborhood. So we'll be troubling you too often, sir, and you have to oblige us every time. We all know that Vikram Sarabhai was the great Indian physicist and astronomer who initiated space research and is considered as the father of the Indian space research programs. Again, Dr. Kalam was the architect of India's missile program and is called the Missile Man of India. For his work in the development of ballistic missile technology, Kalam was also the chief scientific advisor to the Prime Minister and Secretary of the DRDO. We are happy to name this theatre on these two great scientists. I understand this facility is equipped with latest audio-visual technology, well-designed acoustics, and world-class features, and will be an ideal venue for academic symposiums, technical summits, etc. Due to the advent of technology, the teaching-learning process are going through sea changes. Particularly post-COVID-19, there is a huge jump and transformation in the use of technology. Slowly, the contemporary classroom teaching is giving way to conferencing and online teaching and learning process. I'm sure the facility will help the institution to connect with the world and deliver the best to the student community. Also, it may be noted that this campus has close to 30 number of such conferencing seminar facilities of various sizes and capacity. அப்ப என்ன பண்ணணும்? You should have brought the right audience. They are not meeting my expectations. When I give a pause, it means you should give a hand. I'll read it again for you. I'm sure this facility will help the institution to connect with the world and deliver the best to the student community. Also, it may be noted that this campus has close to 30 number of such conferencing seminar facilities. Shankar, you must invite me once in a way. No point in doing all this. We have to prepare these people also to match with the expectations of this infrastructure. All these have become the need of the hour, and I'm sure we need to create more such facilities to cope with the technological changes. I once again welcome our special guests to this occasion, and on behalf of Kumaraguru institutions and my own behalf, I thank them for accepting our invitations and visiting our campus. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, sir. Today marks a momentous occasion in the history of the Kumaraguru institution. We are deeply honored by the presence of two luminaries amongst us whose remarkable achievement have left an indelible mark on the world of space exploration. Dr. Y.S. Rajan, the former scientific secretary of the Indian Space Research Organization, and Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma is a pioneering Indian astronaut, are the chief guests for the day. Dr. Y.S. Rajan's contribution at the ISRO was marked by the visionary leadership and pioneering research that propelled India into the forefront of space exploration. His initiatives have not only advanced our understanding of the cosmos, but have also played a pivotal role in the nation's technological advancements. We have now a short AV on the Honorary Distinguished Professor, Dr. Y.S. Rajan.
Is one of the distinguished early pioneers at the Indian Space Research Organization, and his illustrious career has spanned multiple domains, showcasing excellence as a scientist, technologist, administrator, organization builder, leader, diplomat, academician, writer, and poet. Awarded with Padma Shri in 2012, his significant contributions have left a lasting impact on science, technology, innovation, diplomacy, strategic studies, and natural resource management. He was the founder, Executive Director of Technology Information and Forecasting and Assessment Council. He has held top positions in the academic sector, and his close association with former President APJ Abdul Kalam resulted in the co-authored masterpiece, India 2020, A Vision for the New Millennium, complementing his extensive portfolio of books and over 200 articles published in renowned international journals.
May we now invite you, sir, to deliver the special address.
Thank you all. Vanakkam. First, Krishnaraja Vanavarayar, and of course, Rakesh Sharma, Manikam sir, and Shankar. It's a great pleasure to be here, and also the distinguished audience here. When he asked, a letter came from him. Actually, many of you will be thinking, Shankar has remarked, I know him when he was around your age. One remarkable thing, I can tell it here itself, is that from that to now, he has just to put on only 5 kg more. So, it's a remarkable thing. Many people go unshapely, so he has kept it. But later I know him on many different things. At that time, a young age is, of course, he did a lot of good things in the business and all, but his thing was that Chiruduli. I don't know whether you people go and find it out. Small drops, that river which is there. That was his passion, was doing that. But of course, he had so many other things also. So, then this thing is, I know this institution for so long, much earlier. I have come here in April 2004, later subsequently when the Vigyan Bhavan is halfway, Arul Chelvar has come from I know. Actually, I knew Dr. Manikam well before I knew Arul Chelvar also. That is because of our Taifa sugar technology. He was, there are so many things. So the links were so many, and Arul Chelvar, of course, is very many things he made me to do, and I learnt him quite a bit. And same thing with Krishnaraja Vanavarayar. Many of you will know only, okay, he is the chairman of this institution. Some of you may know only little bit Bharatiya Vidya Bhavan, and of course some business. He has also, for the Tamil University, I have to say that word, the Tamil University, he was the person who had instigated fellows, don't be sleeping around, and then create a vision for you, what it is for future. Sir, you remember? Yeah, he did that thing, and he made, very interestingly, a remarkable address to all those fellows who were around. Some 6, 7, 8 people are there. The Alasubramanian Sirpi also was one of them. To make them to do remarkable address was in English, because he told them how do you come in the modern era to make the Tamil to cope up with that, and don't. The old ones are very good, but you should also look ahead. So I have so many things before me in this. So I want to, today also happens to be birthday of my grandson. His name is Aditya. Fellows now, they are all vacationing in Europe. Then another one importantly, that is what I am going to do, my talk is going to be that. One, Dr. Shivaraj Ramaseshan. Yes, Ramaseshan. Anyone of you aware of, he was for some time in Indian Institute of Science, this thing, one of the great material scientists. His 100th year. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there. It is RRI, his 100th year celebration. But he used, I am going to borrow his, remarkable speaker, remarkable knowledge also. He used to say, every talk of him will be loaded with a lot of information, science and everything. But still, very make you laugh also. He says, so one goes through, he says he was telling about his age. So one goes through first a period of dating. Then afterwards, in the rush of your life, you don't look at anything. You are rushing, doing. This applies to both men and women. At that time, he was telling for the men, but it applies to women also who are getting into job and all. Then he says, for the first time, you will realize the interest of the beauty of the children when you get grandchildren. So when you reach that age, then he says, from dating, you get into doting. After the doting, then again the grandchildren have grown, everything has grown, then you can only do anecdoting. He said, so I am going to do anecdoting here. For you people, what happened on some of those instances, already Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma's flight, I was fortunate to be involved much earlier when it was in secret phases. I am not explaining everything here. So we shared, and I had some very rare photographs of him. He full of hair, I full of everything black, and then this all will be, you won't be, but I am telling you I kept the thing so that some of you doubt it, you can see it. Because in fact I don't manicure my hair, I allow it to do what it wants. So when it goes down. So we had so many things, and lo and behold, after that one COSPAR meeting, I have never met him. I read about him and other things, because you go into the thick of life, so many things, and I was very happy when I learned that he is around. So very nice get together and then seeing many of you. So we have done enough of anecdoting, I am not going to do that here. Then, when it comes to Arutchelvar, such a remarkable thing of a person, if you just look at, because I didn't know at that time when he was young and then he was doing even politics, he did certain ventures, and then in his life certain ventures failed also. Certain businesses didn't fail, but he was little advanced in life, something related to tubes and something he started, but he didn't give up. Then in addition, he was not only doing for the business and other things, he started the education institutions. Those things were very remarkable. He could have gone even to the national level. But he decided to be around Pollachi and Coimbatore. Why I am mentioning it, such people are necessary to grow a place. If people go off to, we are talking about brain drain, that is not a big problem. But the brain drain to Delhi of many of these people would be a problem. But these, he developed it, and then the amount of thing which he has done to Tamil literature. Because Tamil literature has got, the strength of the Tamil literature is the Bhakti poems of about 85% of the Tamil literature. Of course, Shilapadikaram and all that are very great, but 85% of them, some of the remarkable one, it is in fact, these triggered the Bhakti movement in the north. Even if you read about the Kumaraguru, it is Kumaraguru doing, and he talked in Hindi there. Kumaraguru thing, the way he was doing the pravachana of Ramayana, that encouraged Tulsi later. So, such a route. About Krishna Vadavarayar I have already told. That Manikam is also following the tradition of the Arulchelvar in terms of bringing up, in addition to his business and all. I am not telling about the business, you can see the annual reports and see what they do, etc. The Tamil, translation into Tamil, the modern, whatever, it comes into Tamil and it will go out of Tamil also. Because if the languages don't interact, don't do it, it won't come. But don't think that translation is easy. It is more difficult than original writing. Because when you write original, you are a free person. When you have to translate, you have to empathize with this one. Languages are tough. Of course, Indian language it is okay, but to take it to English, English to this, or any of the foreign languages is difficult. So, they are doing a remarkable job. We have talked about some things which they can be done with that. Of course, Shankara Vanavarayar, I consider in this Great thing. How many of you, I think most of you understand Tamil, no? And then the important part of certain expressions in Tamil, which will come, then I will try to translate it for some who don't know it that well, but the translation won't be as good as the original. That's why I'm going to tell. It is the family which is that whole thing. I'm calling them he, Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, and Manikam and all that. Of course, Vanavarayar, if I am not going back to the further few centuries past, but even the current one itself, Tamil சொல்லுவாங்க வாழையடி வாழையாக வந்த திரு கூட்டத்தில். How many of you understand it? Huh? So can I ask one student to just explain what it is? வாழையடி வாழையாக வந்த திரு கூட்டத்தில். Who? Huh? But that வாழை, you know the thing what it is not just a generation after generation. It keeps the continuity. It is the banana, if you all know, it comes from that root. And then from that it comes. It keeps coming. And it is a very continuous process of the whole thing. And that is the greater family in which they belong. Now I am going to tell about Shankar. When you are bringing these things also, you have to continuously reinvent and modernize. Just as Mahalingam sir did it, Krishnaraj Vanavarayar did it, then Manikam did it in a way, different forms. There are of course a few others, I am not adding all of them. Shankar has gone into modernization and the business, and also the type of service he is doing to Indian industry through his involvement with CII is very good, and therefore into these new fresh genes are getting added to that varai. So I am going to give some suggestions into that. So with that I will end. And another one good thing, sir, it is good that you ask them, you trigger them to do it. Don't do for me. Huh? I tested one thing because I have this one on how a theatres, many auditoriums in India, they don't have a good audio systems. That is what I was seeing. So when talking, it reaches there and it should not reverberate. What is reverberate? I hope that some civil engineering people will know what reverberation is. You find out from that. And this thing when they were doing, it is all with all of them doing, it was just coming straight. It was not reverberating. And whoever has done that design and taken care, I should first applaud them. So now, I have a few things for this. Because I belong to that, my Valayadi Valai is Kalam, Dhawan, Brahmprakash, professionally. Can you believe that I as a young fellow, 20, I started 64, PRL. November 63 is that first rocket has gone. Sarabhai, I'll be standing before him like this. Several times of talking. What a great man. Some of it I will describe it in some few places. It's remarkable. You won't believe that such a person ever existed in this. He's not beyond all the visionary and all that. I am not putting so much. But the person he was, and then the way he was able to inspire under very small this thing, but he was a businessman. He had money. He had to put some these things, but still he did it. It is rather unfortunate that he died too early. But C.V. Raman expected it. In 69 when it was, he told this thing, which I am telling partly because for all of you, young people, Shankar and everybody will be, he told, C.V. Raman has got a very loud voice. He is a very, Vikram, this is how he did, said, Vikram, I am seeing that you are the most powerful scientist in this science administrator in this country, you got a whole space, plus whole atomic energy, 30,000 people with you. 1969, he said, ISRO didn't have so many, but he said some 30,000. But, and you are doing very good job, but you are burning your candle at both ends. Watch out. See, I am now there, I am able to talk. Watch out, he said. 2 years later, Vikram gone. So, all of you, one caution is you have to be very active. At the same time, you have to take care of health. What the fitness, etc. has to be, I have talked extensively in a convocation address, JNCU, what Jananayak Chandrasekhar University. I spoke partly in Hindi also, but it is their English version is available. So this is one thing. In a way, Kalam also is a person who drove himself. Even at 84, 80, you will see if he comes to places like this, he will have about 10 programs. Sir, what 10 programs from here, another thing, another thing, another thing. Sometimes he will be so hungry. And the organizers, some of them are so selfish, they don't even bother to ask him. Some places have happened. Sir, konjam chaapadu konunga sir, konjam. Kengam parunga neenga. Some cases, they will not let him go for number one. From one to another, they should have a respect that the man is betting over 80 or something like that. 80, 84. Enga paathu sollunga sir, paathu sollunga. So I'll tell him. So I would have done it. Then I will walk quietly, because he doesn't want that to be known also. So I will walk quietly, then he will come behind me. You know, one nimisham, I have to talk to him, he will say, go. So, very remarkable. And then, thanks to Dr. Manikam's place, that particular institute, because many of you keep on, many students are going on asking me, what is it, how do you know, how much you know about Kalam? I know from 65 onwards. There, a book about him, Kalam, Abdul Kalam, Ninaibugalukku Maranamillai. It's a fantastic thing. Overall, we were blessed because that Balasubramaniam Sirpi was the chief editor and then took care of it. You know who wrote along with me? His own niece, a great Tamil scholar, many don't know, Dr. Naseema Maraikayar. She is actual PhD in Tamil. So it is that book, it is such a big, don't think that you can finish it off in a day. There are so many things there which tells about Kalam as a person, how he has gone through. So many of you don't think that he has come like that, he was lucky, he thought. There are times in which after a successful SLV3, he has stagnated for 2 years without nothing. He has told me, because we are friends, sir, அந்த மாத்திரம் இருந்ததுன்னா நான் வெஜிடபிள் ஆகிருப்பேன் சார். அந்த இதே மாதிரி இருந்து நான் வெஜிடபிள், ஈவன் திஸ் he will tell even after, that is I would have become vegetable. Even after he became President of India, because when it looks those, so it happens. Because then he told me, what Von Braun had told him when he was doing, I said, you know Von Braun? Don't know. Hare Baba, when you are talking about cosmonauts and all that, Von Braun, go and find out. I am not going to tell. So he came to India when he was doing, Kalam was doing SLV3. Of course, he asked him, he told me at that time itself, his advice, how he has to be a successful project director. I won't tell what he told, because nowadays even those words cannot be used. So he told him that's how you have to be, then only you will be successful. That's okay. Second, what will be after your success? He himself has told, you will be just thrown off into some place. They may technically call high, but you will be doing nothing. That is what happens. It happened to him after Saturn. Because everybody was worried that if this guy is there, he will be other bigger and bigger. So they stopped the Saturn II and he was pushed to NASA headquarters. He was feeling suffocated. So like this there are many, because these stories are not put a very, very small amount, but you will have it. And fortunately, one young lady translated it in Tamil. This is becoming a problem, and I am telling it as this one, and some of you have to take care of this, is that to Tamil, to get people from Tamil to English translation is very difficult. I am able to get for Kannada. Because the problem in this, they learn only Orumoli Vallunar illai. Irumoliyada irukkanum. Balasubramanian Sirpi Mummoli Vallunar. That lady did it. We were fortunate and they supported her. And then, this thing, there it is, memories never don't die. Okay, so all the anecdotes and all, you can know. Now I got some 3-4 items for this. This auditorium should not be an ordinary auditorium where you have seminars and other things, because academics, pardon me when I say this, because academics have a tendency to have seminars and then publish something and then keep doing. This should become, that you do, I am not saying don't do it, but in addition, this should become a global hub. Because Kalam always used to say global hub, forum, etc. It should hub to generate 2-3, don't be too many things, 2-3 programs out of this. That means it is a very concentrated programs which will be done, which will be what to do, what are the things, what are items. They will not do all the experiments. So here, since you are audio connected, and then as Krishnaraj Vanavarayar was telling, then now it's not necessary that everybody should be physically present. One fellow from UK, one fellow from here, one industry fellows, all of them can come here, and such an audience, they also get excited. And create project. It's not just one paper, another paper, another paper. It is around how to do that, step by step, so that after a year or 6 months or later, then you can have another seminar where you do it. This is for 2-3 items. One is very advanced technologies for agriculture. I find that when I wrote it, I didn't have that. Here there is an institution of agriculture which is thinking in terms of variety of it. Your aero people should think in terms of drones for them, instead of trying to chase some other item. Quite a few things. Then another thing is, in space itself, lot of things are possible, from security to this thing, etc. That is second. I am not saying everything you should do. A third one is supply chain to high-tech industry. Don't get into Zomato and all that. Supply chain to very high-tech industries, this one. Lastly, one more thing is there, 2 more, that is nuclear. When I am talking about nuclear, you all think, please note, if we want to do planetary exploration, we could not do Chandrayaan so much more because we don't have NPS. You know what is NPS? Nuclear power source. It's a thermal power source which is there. Had it been there, it would have warmed it up. So when it goes after the 14 days, it will be okay. So NPS, NASA has been using it from 1961 onwards. But not only for space, for the down, modular one, it is not 250, Kudangulam and all that. Modular up to 1 to about 2 megawatts things are available in 7 countries. They are getting into commercial. Don't wait for atomic energy and all that thing to, because big organizations make greater the sluggishness. It is true with the private sector too. Because actually somebody was explaining about big organizations don't innovate. That is why they need startup. So here you think in those terms, how do we get? And then those people talk and then do it. Then let you generate. That much will be the one. Last item is about geriatrics. Fellows like me, we are all there. We will be alive and kicking. But kicking maybe it is a little faltering, but it is okay. But this is going to be already 15 crore. It's going to become more. Around that, a whole set of services and other things are available. Many are doing it. You may not be able to do everything, but some of it. And this is what I suggest that this auditorium generates. Then you can say this is what it did. And that is why I said, I particularly pointed out to Shankar, because he belongs in that Vadayadi Vadai, a new generation which has come, which has to do those genetic modifications and mutations to this great lineage. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for delivering an inspirational address. the fond memories with the ISRO masterminds, and more importantly, for charting a blueprint for our future initiatives at Sarabhai Kalam Theatre. Moving forward, our esteemed chief guest, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma's historic journey into space as the first Indian astronaut remains a source of inspiration for generations to come. His dedication and commitment to scientific progress have made him a symbol of national pride. We now present a brief video on Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma.
Rakesh Sharma is the first and only Indian astronaut who embarked on a historic space journey solidifying India's position in the cosmic narrative. In a joint mission between ISRO and the Soviet Intercosmos program, Sharma achieved the rare feat in 1984 of being launched into space abroad Soyuz T-11 along with two Soviet astronauts and spent nearly 80 days in space station conducting several experimental sessions including yoga in zero gravity. Conferred with the rare honor of the hero of the Soviet Union and India's highest peacetime gallantry award, the Ashok Chakra, Sharma continues to be an embodiment of national pride.
ऊपर से भारत कैसा दिखता है आपको?
मैं बगैर किसी झिझक के कह सकता हूँ सारे जहां से अच्छा.
May we now invite you, sir, to deliver the special address.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and students, of course. Dr. Krishna Raj, dignitaries on the dais, my colleagues both in uniform and out of them, faculty and the students of this wonderful institution. I would like to thank you, sirs, for inviting me on this very important and significant occasion, and where I'm sharing the dais with Dr. Rajan to inaugurate this wonderful auditorium. And you heard a detailed advice from Dr. Rajan of how this really can be utilized. And I think that you have named this auditorium after two icons of the Indian space program. One, of course, is the visionary, and the other, the wonderful executor of that vision. Of course, Dr. Rajan will be able to tell you much, much more about President Kalam, late President Kalam. But I'm going to be giving you, sharing some words, because I have had the privilege of working are kind of waiting to hear you, and therefore I tell you, the students, that you will have to suffer my bhashan, because that is what I intend to give today. You see, when Mahatma Gandhi was asked by a British reporter as to what would be the message he would give to that reporter's people back home, the Mahatma said that my life is my message. He just scribbled those 5 words on a sheet of paper, and he was, as you know, a man of a few words, but a lot of significant action. And I think this also holds true for former President Kalam, and I have today decided to pay tribute to his memory by speaking about all that he had stood for. Because I believe that he attained the heights that he did primarily due to his belief system. In fact, he had practiced in all his professional life all that he had preached in his speeches later on after demitting office. And if you recall that he breathed his last on a stage at the lectern. So from starting a modest life from selling newspapers at a railway station, not vending tea, as we all know about our dear Prime Minister. So Kalam Sahab, he used to sell newspapers at the railway station, but he became a leading newsmaker of New India. And that was his trajectory. So how do you think we should refer to him as? Do we refer to him just as an aerospace engineer? For actually, he graduated as one aeronautical engineer from the Madras Institute of Technology. Or should we call him a rocket man for helming the SLV Mark III program? Or do you think we should call him the atomic man for being the director of Pokhran II? Or do we rather call him the satellite man for guiding the Rohini satellite launch? Or then again, should we refer to him as the missile man for his stellar role in the Agni and the Prithvi missile programs? Or shall we simply call him an innovator and an inventor for developing the Kalam Raju low-cost stint in India for Indians? And of course, this he worked with Dr. Somaraju to perfect the stint. So Dr. Kalam was a man of many parts, and when you take each of those parts and put it into a mosaic, a very clearer picture starts to emerge. And we find that all his efforts, when put together, were directed only towards nation building. So before I talk more on his exploits and how he got to be who he was, I would like to share my thoughts about what is happening to the rest of us. Some of us have been a part of our country's past. Some is present. And a lot of you sitting out here will be contributing to our country's future. And I refer to the students. So I was born just about 16 months after independence, and I'm told that once the dust of partition settled, our countrymen rolled up their sleeves and got down to working and getting their hands dirty, building the India of Mahatma Gandhi's dreams. Of course, at that time, they were assisted by the politicians of the day and thousands of motivated commoners who had sacrificed so much to free our country from the yoke of British rule. So if we fast forward now to 2023, during which time we have seen more than 7 decades of tumultuous growth. And most of the tumult has been resulting from technological advancement on the one hand, and the dilution of societal norms and individual value systems of us Indians on the other. Those value systems which we were told were intrinsic to our Indianness. And how did this happen? Was it that our moral compass was, say, flawed to begin with, or did it fall into disuse over the years because we were not as particular about recalibrating? Every compass does need to be recalibrated now and then. I mean, after all, ours is the oldest culture existing on this planet. So, have we been reading too much into the societal values which our country had in the past, which we have been told? Or is it that the parameters itself of what constitutes good conduct, good behavior, good value system, has that changed? Whichever way one looks at it, it surprises me that our country has reached where it today is, despite the steady erosion in our professional and personal value systems during this 7 odd decades of freedom that we have enjoyed. I would say that the report card of the nation's character growth has shown a disturbing downward trend, and I'm sure most of you will agree. But at this point, let me digress a bit, because some of you are at the threshold of your careers, and you're going to remain engaged in those careers for decades to come. And there are some who are just started their careers. So I am talking to you, that group of people. You're going to be tomorrow's professionals in our country. I believe that professionals of tomorrow must first resolve the conflict in your minds and in your head as to what constitutes success. In fact, I would say it's time to revisit and redefine the word success itself in this context. What are you seeking? Are you just seeking financial wealth? A high salary, a fancy designation, a corner office? Or are you seeking professional fulfillment? Does success mean being professionally fulfilled? That is the question. And according to me, it is a very, very important question, and the answer you get to that question, if you ask it of yourself, influences our choices very, very profoundly. And the time to mull over this question and the answer you get is now, at the start of your career. Because that is the answer that will decide the trajectory that your career is going to take in the near future and perhaps till the end of your productive lives. I truly believe that if people are passionate about their chosen line of work, if they are diligent, if they have a good observation, if they remain invested in the job that has been given to them and dedicatedly do it, if they work with integrity, if they are bothered about their professional reputations, and if they are risk takers, if they have the courage of their own convictions, and if you do become a leader and you lead with empathy and be a team player, There's nothing wrong in being a team player. Everybody does not have to strive to be a leader. You know, if you are a dependable team player, you're a good professional. And if you're all of this, then I would say that success is yours for the asking. One can be fulfilled just by being an upright and a well-respected professional. Tomorrow's India needs just that kind of professional. And how do we get to be that kind of professional? How do we future-proof ourselves? Because our country needs those skill sets. What should be the ingredients, or shall we say the attributes of tomorrow's professionals? Again, I believe that to excel, the person must be passionate about the job which I had just mentioned. And the next one, of course, is a no-brainer. Person should have an innovative ability, because that is what is going to take us through. And invariably, I find that those who are passionate about their jobs, they go beyond what has been taught to them. They inquire and they challenge themselves to deal with what they do not at first understand. And more often than not, he will find the ability, because he or she will remain focused on that job, success or no success. Then there is attitude. Now, attitude as an attribute for tomorrow's success is best exemplified by that living legend, Michael Jordan. Anybody follows basketball? Michael Jordan is a living legend of basketball, and he has said that I have missed 6,000 shots in my career. I've lost 300 games on 26 different occasions. I was trusted to make the match-winning shot, and I failed. I failed over and over and over again, and that is why I succeed. Those were his words. And it just goes to show that he, A, had the aptitude, B, he had the passion for the game, and he also had the attitude of a professional who took failure in his stride. By far, the two most important traits that I have left for the end, one is integrity and the other is character. Now, integrity is a word which is like nationalism or secularism. It means different things to different people. So, but there is enough and more evidence that most successful companies have been founded on a strong, integral footing where honesty, transparency, and ethical practice is the norm, it's not the exception. And having said that, again, integrity means different things to different people. One must not leave this matter or this subject open to interpretation or speculation. I have a good friend named Mr. Subrata Bagchi, who is the co-founder of Mindtree, an ID company in Bangalore. You may have heard of him. And he's also the author of the international bestseller called The Professional. And he has given a very simple and a very succinct definition of the word integrity. He said, and I quote, that the touchstone to judge whether integrity is being compromised, if you're sitting in judgment over any issue, whether it is being compromised or not, it just lies in 4 statements. First statement is, we must follow rules. Second is, where rules do not exist, we must use fair judgment. Third is, when in doubt, we do not go ahead and do what suits us. We must seek counsel. And finally, if you're faced with a difficult choice, despite all this, ask yourself, can my act stand public scrutiny without causing embarrassment to me and to my family? And the last thing is, of course, character. Again, character has been best defined by somebody who says there is a difference between personality and character. Personality is what you display when others are watching you. And character is what you display when nobody is watching you and there is no chance of anybody knowing that you have done something and nobody can catch you doing it. Now that is displaying character. Before I end, I would like to share a video film with you only to show you the difference between, say, successful people and fulfilled professionals. The guys you are going to see, and it is, Rajan sir, it is from our domain, space. It's about space flight, and the guys who run the show, whether they are sitting in mission control or whether they are actually flying the missions, each one of them, they may not be millionaires, but each one of them, I assure you, is fulfilled. I've met many, many during my post-flight career, and Dr. Rajan, of course, has met even more of them. So please see the hidden messages in this, okay? May I have the video film, please? It's just a short video film. Kill these lights if possible. Over the podium. Thanks for listening. And so please choose your careers, choose it with care, and give it all that you've got. You owe this to our great country. Jai Hind.
We are truly privileged to listen to our luminary, Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma, paying tribute to the People's President, Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam, which is truly inspirational. And also, thank you, sir, for sharing your profound insights on the past, present, and the future of India. May we now invite our esteemed chairman, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, to present a memento to Dr. Y.S. Rajan, former scientific secretary, ISRO, and former chairman, BOG, NIT Manipur, as a token of our gratitude. Also, sir, requesting you to present a memento to the Wing Commander Rakesh Sharma Ashok Chakra as a token of our gratitude. Thank you, sir, and thank you to our chief guests who made this day a very special one in the Kumaraguru institutions. We now present a short glimpse on the 40 years of the Kumaraguru institutions.
In 1984, a vision was born. A vision that would transform the landscape of education and innovation. Welcome to the captivating journey through time as we trace the remarkable history of Kumaraguru. Our story begins with a timeline, a visual tapestry that weaves together key milestones from 1984 to the present day, 2023. These milestones are the building blocks of Kumaraguru's legacy. But behind every milestone, there are visionaries. Our founder, Aruchelvar, Dr. N. Mahalingam, whose unwavering dedication ignited Kumaraguru's dream. Our campus, a testament to our journey. Witness its evolution from humble beginnings to a modern hub of learning. At Kumaraguru, it's not just about education, it's about life. Here, dreams take flight and friendships are forged for a lifetime. Kumaraguru is embroidery woven with iconic symbols. They represent our values, our identity, and our spirit. As we conclude this incredible journey through time, Kumaraguru's vision for the future shines brighter than ever.
Thank you, team, for that splendid presentation. Vikram Sarabhai Theatre, the modern conference and events venue, fosters a future-ready learning environment for engaging discussions and networking. And now was the moment to acknowledge the minds and hands led by Mr. Israel Nyanraj, Managing Director of Design Collaborative. May we invite our respected correspondent, Shri M. Balasubramaniam, to honor Mr. Winfred Paul, Mr. Abdul and Mr. Karthikeyan, project management consultants from Pyramid Management Services. Siddharth, interior contractor from Lucknow, will be acknowledged for his contributions now. Mr. Siddharth from Lucknow will now be acknowledged for his contributions. Mr. Karthik from Sound Logic will be honored by a respected correspondent. Thank you, sir. May we invite our respected joint correspondent, Shri Shankar Bana Raya, to honor Mr. Shivakumar from Sivabala Constructions. Mr. Sivakumar from Shivabala Constructions is now being honored by our respected joint correspondent. Next, Mr. Suresh from ONS Interiors will be recognized for his contributions. Mr. Bidin from Vasan Electricals will now be honored by a joint correspondent. Mr. Saravanan from Batra Engineering will be recognized for his contributions now. Next, I invite Mr. Mohan Kumar from MTech Aircon Engineers, who will now be honored by our respected joint correspondent.
Thank you, sir, for honoring the architectural team behind the Sarabhai Kalam Theatre.
I just also want to acknowledge the internal team. So many more. Maybe we'll take a picture. I request the guests to be seated. We'll take a picture with them. So they've thought through all the smallest of things to ensure. I know this was a long project for the longest time, but I hope we've delivered something. And all the little things, there were multiple people. Also, Udaya, who's an architect who helped us do some of the interior work, and if you see the exterior, some of the work going on. So multiple things have happened. So I want to, on behalf of everybody, thank our internal team. Multiple people who've got this done. Some are on stage. Many people who are not. And also the army of people in the last few days, from housekeeping to multiple people who made this possible, landscape, I'm sure Sendil is here somewhere, multiple people who got it done. So thank you to all of you. Sendil and others, if you're here, please join this picture, but otherwise we can do one later. But thank you, everybody.
Thank you, sir, and thank you, team. Gratitude unlocks the fullness of life. It turns what we have into enough and what more. It brings peace for today and creates a vision for tomorrow. To propose the vote of thanks, may I now invite Mahima, final year Mechatronics, President, Academic Innovation.
Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed chief guests, armed men, students, alumni, diligent faculties, partners from industries and organizations, and friends from the press and media. As we have gathered here today, basking in the inauguration of this Sarabhai Kalam Theatre, I'm remembered of this quote said by the great visionary Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam sir, who said, "Dream, dream, dream. Dreams turn into thoughts, and thoughts make actions." So this space is a dream and aspiration for many of us here, and this space is for us to dream together for a brighter future. And today I want to take this moment to thank Padma Shri Dr. Y.S. Rajan sir, who have gathered today here with us to honor this event. And sir, we saw the profile. So he is not only the scientific secretary of ISRO, but he's also a poet, an author, an administrator, leader. And there are many more things to see. So I'm sure that all of us here are very much inspired to be such versatile all-rounder and to provide service to our country with utmost hard work and dedication. Thank you, sir, once again for joining us today. And we are honored extremely to have Wing Commander Shri Rakesh Sharma sir along with us here today. And sir's words that "Sare jahan se acha Hindustan hamara" deeply resonates with all of us here in our mind and body whenever we think about India and its achievements in space, science and technology. Thank you so much, sir, for your powerful message here. And I'm sure that all of us here, the students, the young minds, we would craft our trajectory so precisely that we could hit our success, which is not only about monetary success or achievement through any other means, but we should craft our profession with utmost passion and dedicate our every ounce of our energy to it. Thank you so much, sir, for that message. Next, on behalf of all the students here, I would like to thank and express my heartfelt appreciation to our chairman, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavaraya, sir, our vice chairman, Dr. M. Manikam, sir, correspondent, Shri Balasubramaniam sir, and joint correspondent Shri Shankar Vanavaraya sir, for providing us with such a state-of-art facility, Sarabhai Kalam Theatre. And I assure you on behalf of all of us here that we use this facility to nurture innovative and creative minds that in turn will craft and provide a lot of success to a great nation. And I must also extend our gratitude to the service provider department, the builders, without whom this event might not have been possible. They have worked tirelessly for hours and hours, day and night, to make this dream come into a reality. So thanks to their team. And lastly, I want to thank all the invited guests, armed men in uniform here, students, alumni, industrial partners, and faculties who've gathered us today. And this gathering of us is the unity of our purpose and commitment to the successful educational endeavors in the future for us. In conclusion, I would like to leave you all with the thought of Dr. Vikram Sarabhai, who said, "We don't have the luxury of time. We have but a choice to work together to bring the common success among us." So, with these thoughts in our mind, we should remember to strive hard and achieve success in whatever passion and profession we pick on our life, and determine ourselves to serve a great nation. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Mahima. We now bring this inauguration to a close with the national anthem. May we request everyone to please rise to honor the anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे।
Thank you. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams.
Thank you all for being part of the momentous occasion of inaugurating Sarabhai Kalam Theatre. We invite everyone to join us for high tea at the pre-function area near the western entrance of the Sarabhai Kalam Theatre. Thank you all and have a good day ahead. Follow us on the social media handles